I don't think about it every day anymore, but when it snows, really snows, the kind that swallows sound, I remember that voice behind me and the fact that I never saw where it came from. I'm not someone who scares easily. At least I wasn't before that night. I'm 31 now, and this happened about 4 years ago. At the time, I was living in northern Alberta, working as a field technician for a utility company. My job took me into some pretty remote areas, long stretches of empty highway, logging roads, frozen lakes. It wasn't unusual for me to be alone for hours, sometimes entire days. Because of that, I was prepared. I kept a winter survival kit in my truck, thermal blankets, flares, extra food, a shovel, even a small camping stove. I'd taken winter driving courses. I knew how quickly things could go bad in a storm, and I respected that, which is probably why what happened still bothers me. I did everything right, and it still didn't make sense. That day started like any other. I had a service call about 2 hours out, nothing urgent. The forecast mentioned snow, but nothing extreme. Light winds, a few centimeters expected. Typical winter stuff. I remember checking the sky before I left. Flat gray, but calm. No reason to cancel. The drive out was uneventful. I got to the site, finished the job, and started heading back just after 3 p.m. That's when things started to feel off. The wind picked up first, not gradually, just suddenly there, strong enough that I could feel it pushing against the truck. Then the snow came in heavier than expected. Within maybe 15 minutes, visibility dropped hard. Not zero, but close enough that I had to slow down to a crawl. I told myself it would pass. Storms out there can hit fast and leave just as quickly, but it didn't pass. It got worse. The road started disappearing under fresh snow. The edges blurred out. The trees on either side became vague shapes, like shadows moving in and out of existence. I gripped the wheel tighter without realizing it. I remember thinking, if this keeps up, I might have to pull over. Then, the truck slid. It wasn't dramatic. Just a slight drift at first, but enough to lose traction. I tried to correct it, but the tires weren't gripping. The truck veered off the road and dropped into a shallow ditch, nose first. The engine stalled. For a few seconds, I just sat there, hands still on the wheel, listening to the wind batter the truck. Then, training kicked in. I tried restarting it. No luck. The wheels just spun. I got out to assess, and the cold hit me instantly, the kind that bites through your jacket and settles in your bones. Snow was already piling up around the tires. I grabbed the shovel, started digging. Slow, exhausting work. The wind kept filling in whatever I cleared. My gloves got stiff. My fingers started going numb. After maybe 20 minutes, I realized I wasn't getting out of there, so I went back inside the truck. That was the moment it really hit me. Not panic exactly, but the understanding that I might be stuck there for a while. Maybe hours, maybe longer. I checked my phone. No signal. Of course, I turned the key again out of habit. Nothing. The truck was quiet, except for the wind howling outside. I don't know how much time passed. It's hard to judge when you're just sitting there, watching snow swallow everything. Then I heard it. A knock. Soft. Almost polite. At first, I thought it was something hitting the truck. A branch, maybe? Ice. But then it came again. 3 distinct taps. On the driver's side window, I froze. I hadn't seen headlights. No engine noise. Nothing that would suggest another vehicle nearby. Slowly, I turned my head. There was a figure standing just outside the window. I couldn't see clearly through the snow, but it was definitely a person. Hood up, face mostly obscured. Just standing there. I cracked the window slightly, enough to hear. "Hey," he said. His voice was calm. Too calm for someone out in that storm. "You stuck?" "Yeah," I said. "Truck died. Slid off the road." He nodded, like that was the most normal thing in the world. "I saw you go in," he said. "Figured I'd check." I remember thinking that didn't make sense. There was nowhere he could have been to see me. No lights, no other vehicles. "Got a way out?" I asked. He didn't answer right away, just looked past me, into the truck. Then he said something that stuck with me. I haven't walked this road in a long time. It wasn't what he said, it was how he said it. Like he was remembering something, not responding to me. I frowned. "Do you have a vehicle?" He shook his head slightly. "Not anymore." Something about that made the air inside the truck feel colder. But I needed help. That overrode everything else. He motioned toward the front of the truck. "Let's try pushing it out." I hesitated, just for a second. Then I grabbed my gloves again and stepped outside. The wind hit like a wall. We moved to the front. He positioned himself near the bumper, bracing like he was ready. "On 3, he said. We pushed, and somehow the truck moved. Not much, but enough. Enough that I felt the tires catch slightly. We tried again, and again. Each time, it shifted a little more. I was too focused to question it. Adrenaline, probably. Finally, the truck rolled back onto the road. I stumbled, catching myself in the side mirror, breathing hard. "Thank you," I said, turning toward him. But he wasn't there. I spun around, expecting to see him a few steps away, maybe heading off into the storm. Nothing. Just snow, wind, empty road. "Hello?" I called out. No response. I looked down. There were footprints, mine clearly, leading from the truck to the front. And then nothing else. No second set. I stood there longer than I should have, staring at the ground like it would suddenly make sense. It didn't. The wind kept blowing, erasing everything. Eventually, I got back in the truck. I turned the key. It started immediately. No hesitation, no struggle, like nothing had ever been wrong. I didn't question it. I just drove. The rest of the trip is a blur. White road, tight grip on the wheel, that constant feeling that I shouldn't look in the rearview mirror. But I did, more than once, and every time, there was nothing there. A few days later, I mentioned it to a coworker. Just the part about getting stuck and someone helping me. Left out the footprints. He got quiet for a second, then asked where exactly it happened. I told him. He nodded slowly and said, "Yeah, there was a guy who died out there a couple winters ago. Broke down in a storm. They found his truck, but not him." I didn't say anything after that. I still don't know what to think. There are explanations, I'm sure. Shock, stress. My brain is filling in gaps, but I remember the weight of the push, the way the truck moved, the voice. And sometimes, when it's snowing hard enough that the world goes quiet, I catch myself wondering, if I'd stayed in that truck a little longer, would someone still have come knocking?